Do you like cheesy bread? Do you like something called Bosco sticks? Let's make some school day cheesy breadsticks. It's like a Copycat Bosco stick. Here we go. Here is 1 cup of very warm water right from the tap. To this, I'm going to put 1 package of instant yeast. If you don't have a package and you use it in a jar, it's about 2 1/4 teaspoons. Put that in. To this, we're going to add a tablespoon of sugar. We want to feed the yeast so it'll grow. And then I go ahead and put my salt in now. Some people don't, but I do, and I put about a 1/2 teaspoon. Now, we're just going to let it stir just a little bit and let it set for 5 to 10 minutes until it gets foamy and starts to bubble. And then you'll know your yeast is alive and you're good. Let's see what happens. All right, can you see it looks foamy on top? I know my yeast is alive and well. To this, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter it's at room temperature. I'm going to add 1 egg, and then we're going to start incorporating flour. You can use a stand mixer for this. I like getting my hands in bread dough. You're going to be hearing my children. They're playing right outside my kitchen because that's what they do. They hang out with Mama and they get loud. And they're playing with cars, so you're going to hear all the boy noises. All right. I wasn't very prepared, was I? We're going to use between 3 and 4 cups of flour. But I'm going to start with about 1.5 cups and go ahead and stir it in. I'm just going to use a wooden spoon to do this. I've got a 1.5 cup measurer. I love that. And we're going to start. I'm going to melt that butter a little bit and stir, stir, stir. That's just 1.5 cups. I'm going to add some more. And what we're doing is we're making, we're going to let this dough rise and double. And then we're going to break it off into pieces and roll them into rectangles. We're going to stuff it with mozzarella cheese. But I saw, do you all know Mama B on here on TikTok? She does a lot of really yummy bread recipes. And she did a really cool technique that I'm going to try. This is my bread recipe, but I'm going to use her technique. And we're going to see how these breadsticks come out. You can see this is still really wet. I need to add some more. This will make about 3 cups total. Flour I've added. And that's plenty. Now I'm going to incorporate this a little more, and I'm going to set it up here on my plastic counter. I don't even know what this is. Pastry sheet maybe. And I'm going to work the dough. Okay, now I am just about finished kneading the dough. I've been kneading the dough for 8 or 9 minutes, I guess. And it looks pretty good. It feels good. It feels like a moderately soft dough. It's got some stretch to it, which you want. And then we're just going to put it in the bowl. We're going to oil our bowl a little bit. And watch this. Get it shaped. And you push like this, and it'll bounce right back up. And I'm going to put a little oil in this bowl, and then I'm going to explain to my son what I'm doing. Okay. So you can buy packages of mozzarella, just the cheese sticks. They run between $6 and $9 around here. Or you can buy these little bricks of mozzarella cheese, 8 ounces, for about $1.99 and cut your own cheese sticks. You'll see what I'm doing. Okay, so I cut them. I got 8 nice sticks, and they were a little long, so I cut the end off. I will just put a few of these back to back like that. Might be a piece to eat, who knows. I'm going to do both packages of mozzarella and see how many we get out of my dough that's rising. All right, it's been an hour. It's doubled in size. And we're just going to pop this right out of the bowl. It's a nice, soft dough. And I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Maybe just put a little bit of flour. Just a tiny bit. It's pretty soft. I'm going to cut it in half and work with a half at a time. Making Copycat Bosco sticks. What do you think about that? Good? Okay. I think we could do this 1 of 2 ways. we could cut these in pieces and roll them out individual, or we could make one big rectangle and do them that way. Let's see which works best. You know, trial and error. So I'm just gonna roll this out. Do a bit of a rectangle. You want a pretty thin dough. Now I'm gonna take one of these mozzarella cheese sticks that I've cut. I'm gonna put it on here. I'm gonna roll it up. And then here at the end, I'm gonna get my pizza cutter, which I actually used earlier tonight, so I'm gonna use something else. I'm gonna use my bench scraper, and I'm gonna make a few cuts. You see what I'm doing? And I'm just gonna go ahead and roll this up like that. Tuck it under, and I'm gonna put it on my pan like that. And as those rise, they get really pretty and puffy. I saw that by Mama B of Mama B's. She's on here on TikTok. She does a lot of really cool things. So let's do a few more of these and see how it comes out. Roll out some rectangles. I am going to have to flour them a little bit. I'm not sure I put enough dough on this one. Yeah, maybe I did. What, honey? Okay, baby. I'm going to put it on here. Just going to roll it a little bit. That's too big. We're going to go this direction. You know, you just have to keep going till you get it right. We're just going to roll this. And then I'm, again, going to cut the end a little bit. I think I'm going to cut it a little thinner than I did the last one. Thinner strip. Go ahead and roll that up. And as this proofs and bakes, it just makes a really pretty pattern. I'm just putting these right on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Okay, I'm gonna do them all and show you. Here we are with the last one. It's a little smaller. I'm gonna use some of these pieces I cut earlier. And I'm just rolling it up and kind of pinching the end, and then leave a little bit at the end and just using my bench scraper. You can use a pizza roll, and then I thought I'd take this very end one to kind of close up the end so the cheese doesn't get out, and then continue rolling it up. And that gave me 2, 4, 6, 10, 15. See? And I'm gonna let these set for about 20 more minutes, and then I'll bake them on 375, but I think I will hit them with a little bit of egg wash. Yeah, I think so. And maybe sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top. Let's do that. Right, I'm gonna brush them with just a little bit of egg wash for some shine and some color. I'm gonna let them sit here and rise another 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll pop them right in that 375-degree oven for probably, I don't know, I would guess 10 to 15 minutes, probably closer to 15. We'll wait and see how long it takes. One of mine looks kind of pitiful here, but that's okay. That's the beauty of homemade. That's sometimes how you can tell it's homemade. They're all a little different. And I can see that some of them are really beginning to poof up and rise. These are going to be pretty. All right, they actually cooked about 22 minutes. Here we go. Oh, they smell so good, and they're so lovely. Okay, we're gonna try one. It's still pretty hot, actually. Ouch. I want you to see that. The cheese pool. Woohoo! I did brush them with some egg wash and sprinkled some Parmesan cheese on top. My family says we need to dip them in marinara. This is so good. I'm gonna wrap these, put them in my kids' lunch tomorrow, and tell them to reheat them for around 10 seconds or so at school in the microwave. The teachers will help the smaller ones, the smaller children. And this will be a nice little yummy thing. Isn't it pretty? Does it remind you of a cream horn? Do you know what I mean when I say cream horn? Anyway, this is good. Let me know if you'll make these. No. Did you do a cheese? Delicious? Okay, good job.